Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're jumping back to Action Comics for Action Comics 119, Superman for a Day. This is one of those stories where Clark has to pretend to be Superman. Of course, he is Superman, so he's pretending that he's not Superman while he's being Superman, which already sounds kind of confusing saying that out loud, but most of these stories have been very convoluted. This story is less convoluted, but it takes a lot of work to explain how we get to this point. So there is a group of GIs who have started a helicopter delivery business. They were fighter pilots, but were injured during the war and cannot fly planes, but they can fly helicopters, which tends to be pretty difficult to fly, but they can fly the helicopters and they're doing well. We know who the villain of the story is pretty much immediately when we meet their rival helicopter delivery service businessman. The owner of a rival helicopter service. But he's a businessman, so he's evil. We know he's evil. He's probably evil in real life too. Businessman equals evil most of the time, even in Golden Age Superman. He's actually painting his helicopters to look like the GI's helicopters and then committing crimes with them, including robbing a bank by having the helicopter fly through the skylight. That is a very specific crime. Hey, let's not have skylights anymore if helicopters can crash into them, but you generally don't want to crash a helicopter into a confined space because they're hard to control. So Superman has an idea. He knows Lois will eventually find these guys, so he's going to inspire her to go do this quickly by pretending to leave town. I told you in the Valhalla story they were getting way too less subtle about the whole Lois getting kidnapped thing and him being aware of it. But Lois has other ideas. She doesn't want the criminals to know that Superman is gone, so she dresses Clark up like Superman. So yeah, we have Clark pretending to be Superman even though he is Superman, so he has to pretend he's Superman without powers. They do find the whole fake thing and discover, yeah, it's not really the GIs, it's just the other helicopters painted like them. As they get away, Clark has to go after them by jumping in a helicopter and flying it after them. No explanation of how Clark knows how to fly a helicopter. I know he became, a lieutenant in the Air Force in that one propaganda story, but he was never shown how to fly anything. Of course, he doesn't need to, because as soon as he's out of view of Lois, he gets out of the helicopter and is just pulling it along with him as he's flying, which is a great visual. He also took a whole bunch of paint thinner, so he pours the paint thinner out as he's flying across these helicopters in the sky, and as they pour down, they take off the paint of those helicopters, revealing what they really are. Though, paint thinner is maybe not the best thing to be pouring out into the sky onto the unexpected individuals walking around Metropolis. I mean, the air is probably going to diffuse it quite a bit before it gets to the ground, but paint thinner isn't great to breathe in. So he's kind of poisoning Metropolis. He only has one can. If he had so much more, it would have been way worse. And with that, everything is solved and the businessman goes to jail for, his bad things he was doing. This might actually be the strongest story where Clark has to pretend to be Superman. I don't have huge gripes with it. It does actually raise the stakes, which was one of my complaints about creativity, even though the creativity of how he defeats it is just pouring paint thinner over everybody and just using one power where he flies. In fact, he barely uses any other powers. I can barely even think of him carrying the helicopter, which is just so funny. Okay, that is it from Action Comics 119. Superman for a Day. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? And how does Clark know how to fly a helicopter? That does not feel like a Superman power. Okay, have a great day.